guys, welcome to the Sage and Whiskey podcast. I am your host, Nataly Lorraine. This podcast is about witchcraft, pop culture, and good whiskey. So today's podcast is going to start out with our weekly tarot forecast for the collective. Today I have already pre-selected two cards. I have the Heat Oracle card and I also have the Star Tarot card. I am pulling from the Starman Tarot for my tarot side, and I am pulling from the Sacred Earth Oracle deck for my oracle cards. Okay, so the Heat card. When you think of heat, you think of energy, and this week you are going to feel more energetic, a like a push from nature to kind of push you forward to things that you have been wanting to get accomplished in the past, but you have been hesitating on. So think about your last 30 to 60 days. As you know, well, you might not know that our year actually just started. Witches believe that the new year start in the spring. So when we have our spring equinox, which was March 20th, that is when our new year starts. So when I say about your last season, I mean from December to March. You had during that time, a lot of us were in thinking mode. We were in hibernation. We were in hermit mode. We were deciding on the things that we need to do for this next season. So, this Heat card, especially now since many of us are at home and we have a lot of time to create, this is the creation period. This, especially for my entrepreneurs, this week is a kickoff week. If you feel the push, even if you don't feel that you are ready, do it anyways. There's never going to be a perfect time to do anything, so it's best to start and refine later than to not start at all. The star card with my tarot just confirms all that, saying that right now you have a direct source from your ancestors, from your spirit guides, from your gods or goddesses, whoever you believe in, that right now is the time for you to act. Okay? Now, my witch tip of the week or my sage tip of the week involves crystals. Now, I love crystals. I think they are simple, they are effective, they are easy to understand, and they're normally cost effective. So for the intro person that's into alternative medicine, holistic, into witchcraft, voodoo, however you want to phrase all of those things, crystals are your best way to go. But I would give you this one tip that a lot of people don't realize is that crystals are living, okay? They are a part of the earth. And because they are living, they absorb the energy from those around them. So back in the day when I was in the classroom, I would wear my crystals, and I would do so because they are good at filtering out energies in the classroom. I had taught that one year where I needed them the most. I was teaching kindergarten. And if you know anything about small children, them babies be picking up on everything because they are still attached to the universe in a purest way, and the people around them, they absorb the energy without knowing. They have not yet learned how to filter out those energies. So when you wear your crystals or you have your crystals, especially if you're wearing them wearable art, jewelry, earrings, rings, necklaces, bracelets, make sure that you are very cautious about who you let touch your jewelry or your crystals. I would recommend not letting anybody touch them. If they are going to touch them, take off the bracelet or take off the wearable art and let them hold it. And afterwards, don't put it back on. Put it in um, wrap it in a cloth, or if you're going to wear it, you don't want to offend them, later that day, make sure you cleanse it. Okay, I would not recommend anyone touching your crystals, but if you do, make sure you cleanse them. If you don't know how to do that, I would suggest saging it if you own any type of sage. If you don't have that, salt water. This is only for the crystals that do not break down in water. So really the calcite family, not smart to put any of those in water. But most of them, if you can't submerge them in water, you can spray them. Put it in a little Himalayan sea salt, put it, a little bit of salt in there, water, shake it up, spray it. And of course, your free resource that you don't have to buy, the sun and the moon. Set it out in your car. I used to do this a lot when I would teach at school. When I would get to the school in the morning, I would put my crystals in the dash. And when school was over, I would take them out. And also would do that at the same time at night for certain things that I needed them to be moon charged. Put them in the dash at night in your car, get them out in the morning. So that's my witchy side of my podcast. And now to the whiskey side. We're going to be talking about my favorite show right now, which was a little bit of a surprise, which is Little Fires Everywhere. Little Fires Everywhere is on the Hulu platform. If you don't have it, honestly, Hulu is one of the cheapest platforms they have out now. And I have been a loyal customer for about 10 years. So, Hulu is about, what is it, 7? I have the basic subscription. They can go up to like $40 a month or something like that for Hulu live TV. All of them are kind of having that, which I think is a good deal for most people, but for me, I I like to jump from platforms, but Hulu is my staple. I think I pay $6.79 a month, and it has great content. Okay, including Little Fires Everywhere, which just came out of nowhere for me because Hulu had been slacking for a little bit with new content that I was interested in. So when this popped up and I saw that Reese Witherspoon was in it and also Kerry Washington, I was like, they have the money. Let's hope the script is on point. So if you don't are not familiar with Kerry Washington, she is best known for her role in Scandal, which was a long-running TV show about her being a political fixer for the White House for the president. And Reese Witherspoon, while she has played in a whole bunch of things, I don't really feel like Reese has she didn't really do small screen stuff. So my favorite Reese Witherspoon movie was Fear, and that was like her come out role. That was, I think, late 90s. Anyways, both of them combined, women, I believe, in their 40s, if I'm not mistaken. So they've been acting at least 20 years of acting experience and good films. While I can't name all of the films that Reese Witherspoon has been in, I know that when she's on screen, she hasn't disappointed me. So that's better than nothing. And Kerry Washington, I mean, she's one of those ones that I feel like doesn't get the credit that she deserves, and I really would wish that she would get some roles on the big screen like movies more so than the small screen. So I'm hoping that in 2021 that she will get some more big screen. Maybe she doesn't want to do it, but I mean, either way, as long as she's in something, I know it's going to be done right. So, premise behind this show is basically it's playing two different women, your stereotypical white suburban housewife. She works part-time at a newspaper. She has 4 children. Her husband is a successful lawyer. She meets Reese Witherspoon, who has a daughter, who's a teenage daughter. They have kids. Her daughter is around the same age as all of her children. And Reese rents out a house to Kerry Washington's character that her family owns. Kerry Washington is a not a stay at home mom. She is a single mom, and she hops around a lot. They allude to this because basically you see her sleeping with her daughter in her car, like, taking naps and stuff like that. And Reese Witherspoon has seen her car around town, so she has kind of been on her radar. She's your stereotypical, there's somebody in my neighborhood, I need to find out what's going on. But the kicker is that Kerry Washington's character is a artist. And you kind of see her working on her artwork, but you're not 100% sure what she's working on because they don't give you a whole lot to work with. So up until now, you don't have any backstory for either one of the ladies. You just kind of infer. You have to infer about what's going on, and through Reese feeling sorry for Kerry Washington's character, which for the life of me I cannot remember the name of her right now. But I know Reese Witherspoon's character is Elena. I don't know why I can't think of her. Mia. Kerry Washington's character's name is Mia. Anyways, she ends up asking her to be a maid because she feels Kerry Washington was working. She was working as a hostess or a waitress at a local Chinese restaurant, but Reese felt like, it maybe if she was working in her house, then she wouldn't have to work so much and leave her daughter at home at night. Now, mind you, Pearl is like 16, 15, 16, old enough to be at home at night for, hours by herself without, killing herself or burning down the house or whatnot. But you just see these characters, and I don't want to give too much away, but you just see these characters intertwine. And it kind of reminds me of Crash a little bit, where you have these characters where their lives are kind of coming together, but you don't know why. In this recent last episode, you kind of see the cracks. They want you to see how two completely different people can have similarities. And I really like the way they do that because oftentimes when you have these contrasting characters, you don't really know how they come together. You really don't understand how they can relate because their lives on the surface look so different. But when it comes down to it, they're both mothers. They've both suffered in some way, and the story kind of weaves that in on how they are relatable. Okay, and this last episode gives you the backstory on Mia and how she came to be. And honey, that young lady, what's her name? Tiffany. I can't think of her name. I've seen her in some other stuff before. But it was like she was Kerry Washington's twin. And Kerry Washington, if you know, she's known for her facial expressions, how she cries, how she quivers her lip. Honey got it down. I love watching her in Scandal for those shots where they just pan over her and you just see all the emotion. This young lady, I want to say she's in her 20s. If this is the beginning of her kind of getting her shine, she's going to do well. But that's all I'm going to tell you. I don't want to spoil anything. I just know that this is a show that I feel like lots of people can relate to. And it's going to cause you have to invest in it. It's one of those slow moving shows, but it gives you just enough to get you to the next point. And that is my media spotlight for the week. And as always, can't leave you out without a good whiskey. So today's whiskey is a Knobs Creek Smoked Maple. Now, I love whiskey. I love whiskey and gin. I know that's weird for a woman, but I just love them. And I feel like Knobs Creek Smoked Maple is a good whiskey. It's, I guess you can call it's not quite 100% top shelf, but it's up there. It's like top two shelves. So This bottle will run you about, was it $38, 34, $35 for a bottle. Um, and I mixed it today with lemonade and a little bit of, let's see, bartender terms. So 1 part bourbon whiskey, 2 parts lemonade. I use simply lemonade, and 1 part, while in the recipe, I use a cucumber mint sparkling water because the bourbon and the lemonade is very sweet together. The cucumber mint mellows it out. And that's a good little refreshing spring drink for you all. Thank you so much for listening to my podcast, and I hope to see you next week. Bye bye.